Grams.
And I'm Mr. Mojo.
And we are of
Morgan Heritage.
And right now we're telling you to keep your television locked, internet, everything to
Afronection.
And it's which connection?
Your connection to African music and culture.
Yeah, roots. Cool to be conscious. There wasn't really pressure. The first one that probably got pressure was Mojo because they used to call him the Soup, you know. He was, that means short term for superstar. Because when my dad had that huge record in 1981, I'll Do Anything For You, Mojo was the first one that was on tour as a baby. I'll never forget that blue suit. One of those funny suits you saw in Dumb and Dumber. It was like that weird color.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So it wasn't really a forced thing. And I can date it back as far as Mojo being, I think he was maybe 4 years old on stage, dancing in front of, he made the cover of Jet magazine, you know, and that's serious. And eventually all of us came into our own. We were playing instruments at the time, but we didn't have that superstar factor like Mojo did. We were just trying to build this little reggae band, but he was already on stage. And so it naturally happened because we saw our dad performing with his band called the Black Eagles. So that was the first influence. So it's just something that a child saw his parents doing and took it up, and the rest is history.
Our personal relationships, experiences we share with friends, or experiences our friends share with us, and a lot from our travels, you know, things that we see on the news, because sometimes the news in America, where we were born and raised, is a little different from news that you get maybe on the BBC or Al Jazeera or in Africa, and it helps to give us perspective, and traveling alone does that, but seeing what's going on in different parts of the world gives us insight into real life issues that people deal with on a day-to-day basis. And you know, we listen to a wide variety of music, from country to rock to R&B to hip-hop, jazz, and of course reggae.
They want us to stay blind as a bat.
Selah is a song that, again, was inspired by our travel. We wrote that song while we were in Nairobi, early 2016, and we were traveling to Addis Ababa. So we were living what we were saying, and we've been to places like Gambia and saw the influence in these places. Like, you go there and they're talking Jamaican better. They understand Jamaican patois better than they understand our American English. Even in Japan, it's funny, but in Japan they understand our Jamaican patois better than they understand our English. So it's a song just encouraging people to explore the world and don't limit yourself to the zip code, you know, or the area code or the country code, but know that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So that means that it was created for us to enjoy it in its entirety and not just, you know, minimized to a certain region.
Positive picture is that it is love, it's a culture, it's a way of life. Right in a nutshell for you. It's a way of life, it is love, and it is a culture of modern day times that stems from an ancient livity, which comes from what them would call Abyssinia, the people of Abyssinia. There was one time when Somalia, Eritrea, all of that eastern area was called Abyssinia. Now this is history. If people research history, they will find for themselves. And one of the things that we must use is that we have the internet. There's so much information there. So don't really depend on your local television or even some of the international news that, you know, the CNNs, the Al Jazeeras, the BBCs, they bring news, but there's still so much information that we can't just blame it all on BBC and CNN because they only have a little bit of airtime. But you have free internet, unlimited data.
A song called Wanna Be Loved, from the album that won the Grammy, Strictly Roots. It's a universal message. It's a song that's welcoming to people from all walks of life, no matter your race, color, or creed, or your spiritual background.
No matter where you come from.
It's a crazy feeling. Surreal, disbelief, shock, awe, amazement, grateful, happy. Feel very appreciated, you know, when you're acknowledged as one of the best, and then finally named the best for the year in your genre, it says a lot that your work is being recognized. But like a young friend of ours, Chronic, says, you do it for the love and not the likes, because it took us 20 plus years to get our first nomination, and God bless, we won. So it was never about accolades for us. So it's just another achievement within your career that you hope to realize at some point. And when it does happen, it's a blessing.
Can you feel this? Turn up the music. Yes, I love
Equal rights and justice for through our music. I think we start there, then I think love will be birthed, and a lot of other things will be birthed out of equal rights and justice, because that's where the injustice comes. It's the imbalance of power. If we balance that out, everything else will fall into place.
Yes, I tell you, few people can see it. Many are blind to it. A change is on